Welcome back to our course on SAP Materials Management. In this session, we will be discussing on MRP3 views, the critical parameters like forecast requirements, planning parameters, and availability check parameters. Before going into session, let us see the answers for previous session. For subcontracting items, what are the procurement type and the special procurement type? Hope you know it already. It is procurement type F and the special procurement type 30. Special procurement type is applicable only for external purchase items, true or false? False. Because special procurement item is applicable for in-house procurement types also. For example, we have special procurement type 50 for phantom assembly. What is phantom assembly? We will cover it maybe later. In-house production time is defined in calendar days, true or false? False. Because in-house production time is mentioned in working days. Hope you remember there is another days also defined in working days. What is that? It is GR processing time. So in-house production time and GR processing time are defined in working days. Planned delivery time are defined in calendar days. What is the purpose of schedule margin key? Schedule margin key defines the floats to be used in planning and scheduling proposed orders. Also where we can define opening period. That is the time required to process the planned order or production order or purchase requisition to purchase orders, which is administrative time to work on the orders. It also provides the float after production, float before production, and these parameters, please go through them. Okay, schedule margin key also can be customized based on the requirement. Whatever the criticality of the process, criticality of the scheduling, it can be customized and used. What is the purpose of safety stock? Safety stock is the quantity or time buffer to account for any fluctuations in supply and demand. Because in the business world, all the supplies are not smooth. Similarly, all the demand are not smooth. There will be always fluctuation. If there is a fluctuation, there should be some cushion, right? For example, when you're going in vehicle, right? So we have the spring, right? It's a cushion is there to take care of the any vibrations in the road or something. Similarly, here any vibrations in the supply, which is a fluctuation, also in demand, inventory in terms of safety stock or the safety stock time that will take care of these fluctuations. When service level percentage is high, which means that we have to give more to the customers, more safety stock has to be maintained, true or false. There is already fluctuation and we want to maintain more of service level. This means the safety stock has to maintain more. You would have seen that picture, no? When the service level is increasing, after 90%, the safety stock to be maintained will be exponentially growing. So normally companies will not maintain 100% satisfaction. That is very practically is very difficult to achieve. So companies may try to reach 95% is the best achievement. We'll be discussing MRP3 views in this session. MRP 1, 2, 3, 4, all these are organization dependent parameters. MRP3 is defining the what are the operating model related things. It is also plant related, that is organization based views. MRP3 defines the planning strategy group required to plan the material, like it is operating model, make to stock or make to order or assemble to order. Also it helps to define availability check. Also what are the configuration, product configuration details, replenishment lead time, those things are maintained in MRP3 view. In MRP3 view, there is no difference between externally procured materials or internally procured materials. In the fields, there is no major specific difference like what we saw in MRP2 view. Here it is having 4 sections. One is related to forecast requirements, another is planning parameters, and then availability check parameters, and then plant specific configuration details. We'll see them one by one. Now we'll see the forecast related parameters. Here we have period indicator. This period indicator is that which kind of period we need to consider for the consumption quantities of forecasting purpose. If it is blank, system takes it as month. Otherwise, day or week may be entered. So this value is taken into forecasting data view. And then fiscal year variant. This is number of posting periods as defined by accounting team. And then we have splitting indicator. This indicator is to split how the forecast requirements have to be split into smaller intervals. Just to see the example what is given here. For the first period, the forecast will be split into daily requirements. That is what is required as the number of days as 1. And then for the number second, for the next two periods, it is showing us the requirements will be split into weeks. And then in total 4 periods are included in MRP. So please note here for the plant, for the planning indicator and the status what is shown here. So number of the periods for number of days, periods for number of weeks, and overall periods are given here. So this is one parameter which is normally not used by many people, but if it is used properly, forecast can come out in the right way. And the next important view is the planning strategy view. So this is a strategy group. So here this is how the operation is to be carried out. It is defined in the operating model. For example, when you are using strategy 10, this may be make to stock. When we use strategy 20, it may be make to order. When you use strategy 40, it is a planning with final assembly. Like this, we have different planning strategies. We will be discussing them in detail in the subsequent sections. So demand management aligns sales planning with customer requirements according to the planning strategy, because planning strategy is defined how the demand has to be handled. So planning strategies are defined based on operating models like make to stock, make to order, assemble to order, and engineer to order. Some common strategies which are used in SAP are listed down here. Before going into details of individual planning strategies, let us see the operating models. So make to stock. In make to stock, finished goods are produced and kept in stock. So here lead time is less. It can be delivered immediately. In case of make to order, until we get the order from customer, nothing will happen. Probably components may be available in stock to reduce the long lead time. Otherwise, other activities will not be carried out in make to order situation. In assemble to order situation, we keep the components and sub-assemblies or modular products ready. So the components and sub-assemblies are kept based on the forecast or the or expected stock level, and they will be assembled only after getting the order from customer. So that is the assemble to order, which means we keep component sub-assemblies ready in stock, but we convert them into finished product only on getting order from customer. In MTS model, the planning is happening for the finished goods, where inventory is kept in the finished goods form. So the lead time will be less. This model works well for standardized products, high and consistent demand products. What are the strategies used in make to stock? Strategy 40, 30, 10, 11, 52 and 63. In this, demand management is applied in all the strategies. Procurement before sales do not happen in strategy 30, and also PR is not there in 30. Sales order is applicable to all the strategies. Procurement after sales is happening in 30, 52 and 63. And a goods issue is happening in for delivery creation, which leads to reduction in PR, is happening in strategies other than 40, because in 40 when I create the sale order, strategy is getting consumed. We'll see that individually all the strategies like 10, 11 and 30, how strategies are entered, how the demands are consumed, so that we can understand this table clearly. For make to stock, commonly used strategy is 10, which is a net requirement planning. This is used for mass production environment and also in repetitive manufacturing. Production is done based on the plan and not after getting the sale order. Major advantage is that smoothing of the production. The planning strategy and relevant parameters are maintained in MRP3 view are the planning strategy 10 and MRP indicator 2. Planning strategy 11 is gross requirement planning. It is normally used in repetitive manufacturing situations where production is planned irrespective of the inventory available. For example, in steel and cement industry, they cannot interrupt the production frequently due to technical and cost reasons. So at that time we use this strategy. So this strategy, when you are using it, the parameters suggested are strategy group 11, mixed MRP2. Strategy 40. This is planning with final assembly. This is used commonly by many companies since the demand will offset against the incoming sales order to adapt the production plan. And when the sale order quantity is more than the plan, system will consider the sales order also in addition to forecast. One way, indirectly it is becoming make to order also in that case. So when you use this strategy, the parameters used are strategy group 40 mixed MRP2. This strategy helps react quickly with the customer requirements. In make to order model, the focus of scheduling is on raw materials and components as shown in this picture. Make to order works well for low volume products which are having sporadic demand and also highly customized with more variety products. In engineer to order model works well for specialized and highly customized products, more complex products. As the design itself starts from customer order, inventory is much less in ATO model. For made to order or engineer to order, mostly planning strategy 20 is used. When we use this strategy, there is no need of maintaining a planned independent requirement. PAR is not required. The process when we use strategy, the steps involved are the sales orders are entered, the requirements passed to system as a planned order through MRP run or MPS run. The stocks are produced for this order or procured against this order and they are stored in a special stock type with indicator E. Once the stock is ready, it is invoiced to customer with reference to sale order. In ATO model, the focus of planning and scheduling is on raw materials and components or the sub-assemblies. Stocks are kept at this stage. The model is illustrated in the given picture. ATO works well for customized and high volume products, modular based products like computers, laptops, differentiating a product in the last stage of production like a liquid packed product in different sizes like 50 ml, 100 ml or 200 ml, etc. Planning strategy 50 is used for assemble to order. This strategy is used if there is a need to assemble the finished product only after receiving the customer order, but the components may be planned in advance based on forecast. So the strategy 50 is used as a push-pull model. What is push? Push is from the view of planning the components based on forecast. Pull is producing the product only after getting the sale order. In this strategy, the plan independent requirement is maintained either for individual finished products or for planning family, which is a group of materials. What is planning family? What is planning BOM? We'll discuss in the next session. Now we are going to discuss about the consumption mode and consumption periods. Why do we have these consumption parameters? So we maintain the plan for any material through PIR, planned independent requirement, and they are forecast only. When we receive firm orders like a sales order, or when the make to stock situation we are having this kind of a production orders, then the forecast should be converted into firm orders, which means that the forecast has to be consumed and they have to be taken away from the system. It has to be replaced with the orders. That is the purpose we are maintaining this consumption mode and consumption parameters. So the consumption mode, this defines how the PIR has to be consumed. I mean, what direction it has to be consumed. If you maintain the parameter 1, then the PIR will be consumed in the backward direction, and then if 2 means it will consume in backward and then in forward direction. I mean, it will act in both the directions, but first it will consume in backward and then it will go for forward. If you maintain 3, it will be consumed in forward consumption. If it is 4 means first it will consume in the forward direction then backward direction. Why are we having this kind of different consumption modes, backward, forward, like this, right? See, there are many requirements from different industries. So there are some companies where we don't want to maintain the past plan, maintain the materials in the past dates like that. So they will prefer only for forward. Or there are some organizations where they will look for consuming the plan in the forward direction, then okay, there are some items we can maintain in the backward direction also, mean the past date also, let us maintain it. So at that time we can consume the backward direction. So it depends on the criticality of the business and the nature of the business, whether we are going to maintain the plan in the past, so that based on the plan we will keep some materials, or we don't want to maintain any backward, we want to see only forward. So based on these parameters, we need to select the right consumption mode. So we have all the combinations here, as you see. And backward consumption period means how long, right? How many days? This is in working days, right? How many days backwards the system can go and consume the plan. And if it is in the case of forward, how many days it can go in forward to consume the plan, that is also defined in the number of working days. So availability check parameter is having three important parameters. One is that availability check. This field defines how availability of material to be checked in different requirements. This is critical parameter which controls how the availability of materials will be checked and which elements to be checked for different functions, because we need to check the availability in different situations like sales order, delivery creation, planning, production order creation, production order release, like that. And also the master scheduler MRP controller should fully understand how availability check is done, how materials are planned, how they are committed for the orders. Right, not only the consultants but the users also should know how this is working. That is what we will be discussing in this session. And then total replenishment lead time is the time required before the product is completely available, right? That is all the BOM level of materials are procured or produced and made available. Cross object is the indicator that determines if we have a stock of metal assigned to the project stock, whether it can be included into the availability check or not. For that, the cross project is used. If this project is triggered, then we can use the metals which are allocated to other stocks also. So now let us go through the details about availability check and replenishment lead time. An important parameter is the replenishment lead time. Replenishment lead time is the time required to procure either internally or externally a metal from the date of the order, and it considers the replenishment lead time. How it is there? Replenishment lead time for in-house production will be considered in such a way that first system will consider what is the replenishment lead time defined in MRP3 view. If there is no data there, then system will go and check the setup and inter-operation time, processing time, and GR processing time. These are defined in work scheduling view and MRP2 views. And if the details are not there in work scheduling view, system will go and check what is the details in MRP2 view, right? In which we will discuss this in-house production time and GR processing time. Those things will be considered. These are for in-house production times. For external procured item, system will consider only the planned delivery time and adding with the GR processing time. System will not look this replenishment lead time in the MRP3 view, right? So this indicator is used to confirm the availability check after replenishment lead time in case metals are not available within the replenishment lead time period. Please take a caution here. When we enable this indicator, system will not consider replenishment lead time to confirm the orders. If you need to confirm availability check as per replenishment lead time, we need to uncheck this. For example, if you uncheck this only, system will confirm based on the replenishment lead time. Okay. This one, to understand it clearly, please do some tests. Then only you can get more clarity on this. In MRP3 view, we discuss about forecasting related parameters, common planning strategies, different operating models. Planning strategy, we went into detail about make to stock, make to order, assemble to order. We also discuss on consumption mode and period, what is availability check, and replenishment lead time. So now let us see the quiz for this session. Which are the strategy groups used for make to stock? We discussed some strategy groups here. Just to list out even 1, 2, or 3 strategy groups for make to stock. Which are the strategy groups used for procure to stock? What is the difference between strategy 10 and 11? What is the significance of strategy 40? What strategy was discussed in this session for ETO and MTO? Should we need a plan for ETO, MTO items? What is the replenishment lead time for externally procured items? So these are the quiz questions for this session. We'll see the answers in the next session. In the next session, we will discuss in detail about various parameters in MRP4 view. Meanwhile, please create MRP3 view for the materials in the business case as part of the exercise. Please give your feedback to improve the flow and contents of this course. And please ask your friends and colleagues to subscribe to our channel so they also get the benefit. Thank you. See you in the next session. Take care. Bye.